Hey, Josh, is a relapse ever necessary? Of course. Sometimes these people, I remember when I was younger, like, I don't know, late teens, early 20s, I started experimenting with this. Also, I was in an ashram, this Escondido ashram, when I was in my early 20s, and some other guys were talking about this in their early 20s. And they'd be preserving their semen because we got the download somehow that like this is important, or we read some books. We're fortunate enough to attract these books that are impossible to find. Now they're a little easier, and so we're like, yeah, full on, let's preserve our semen. And this energy wasn't being transmuted, and we just got crazy, man. You just get crazy. You can be like this, just a sex fiend, and the lust was just insane. And there was a story in Thailand, this transvestite, I don't know if she was preserving her semen, but she ended up raping a 70-year-old woman or something. And when the police was interviewing or questioning her, her, it it said like, I'm laughing not at the rape, but at, like, I don't know what to call it. It's cool though. I like transvestites, to be honest with you. They're super real and raw and cool. They're experiencing their karma. That's all that's happening. But I like them. They asked, like, what's up, man? Like, what are you doing? And she was like, I was just super horny, man. I couldn't find anybody else. I had to do it. So that's an example. You can get crazy, So yeah, I'm giving an extreme example, but if you get like that, obviously it's probably better to take the edge off, Now, those who don't get like that, see, there's all levels. Man, it's like cold out, and it activates my cough. There's levels to this. Let's say you don't get like that, but let's say you just can't think about anything else. It's just anytime you walk outside, it's like, where are the girls at? Where are they at? Oh, there's one. Okay, maybe you follow her around, or maybe you're just in fantasy all the time, And then if you take a round out of the chamber, then maybe, you can buy yourself some time before it happens again. See, that's the thing. See, I would justify. I'd be like, feeling, it would just be on my mind too much. I'm like, I just want to stop thinking about this, man. Like, damn, give me a break. And so then I would I would release. But then I'm like, how many times am I going to keep doing this? It's like, okay, I get after I release, I'll get some reprieve for, I don't know, a while, maybe some days, or sometimes just the next day I would feel to do it again. There's so many factors involved. But I would at least in that moment get a reprieve. But I'm like, damn, but this is going to happen again. At what point am I going to be able to transcend this? So this is the thing. This is what we're going to talk about. We got to realize, I had to realize, I can't beat this with my mind. I don't have the mental power to totally be freeless. Not in the highest way. Now, there's some people, if you're in a relationship or you're married, you focus on your partner. This is I'm not against that either. If God gives you that situation, and you're kind of the type that, a marriageable type, and you just want to get out of the playing field and have some, just focus on your partner. God provides that like that, so cool. If that's you got to feel, is that your destiny? Is that your, you don't want to just grab a girl and get married just so you know that though. So I'm not saying that. But there's others who we're not really feeling to get married or be in a relationship. So we can feel the pressure more. And I couldn't beat this with my mind, So what did I have to do? I had to realize that I need a power that's greater than my mind power. This is what I needed. I keep suggesting to you, go to Sex Porn Addict Anonymous. You can Google it. You'll be in a fellowship. It's a 12-step program. You can go to Zoom meetings and you get support because everybody in there has the same mindset. So they can help you. I know a lot about 12-step programs. I can recommend a 12-step program to probably anybody and everybody. There's so many out there, and they're just really good. There's Emotions Anonymous, there's Debtors Anonymous, Gambler Anonymous, Chronic Pain Anonymous, Narcotic Anonymous, Alcoholic Anonymous. There's hundreds, and they're really good. Why not use what the tools the universe provides if it's going to help you? But in that program, because of the 12 steps, one of the steps, second step, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves can restore us to sanity. A power greater than the mind can restore us to sanity, meaning we're not going to be caught up in this sex stream of thinking. Why higher power? Because the mind can't do it. So we have to find, you can call this power God. It doesn't matter. What we really need is we need a shift in our consciousness. This is what we need. When there's a twist in consciousness, then we start looking at things in a different way. We got to go beyond the mind. When we go beyond the mind, it's like we get a different software program installed in our brain. It's like the program that's obsessed and about women and the sex center getting activated so easily over everything. It's like that gets exchanged for a higher program. The higher program, we start to feel the energy more in our heart. We're not feeling it in the sex center so much. When we feel it in the heart, we can appreciate these beings called women from here. And we enjoy God's creation. We're not trying to own them. And we're not obsessing about them. And we don't have fantasies about doing things with them. Edging. But see, that has to occur. We can't produce that kind of shift. This is what I'm trying to say. I couldn't produce that shift. I could read about it and say, oh yeah, that sounds really good. I want to experience that. But I didn't have the power to produce that. Only the universe or some higher force, God, can give that to somebody. But it's like we have to be willing and ready to accept that too. It's about timing. So that's why I keep saying, it's cool. Look, you got to enjoy this process and understand it's a process. It's not like you go to mechanic school for a year and now you know how to change the oil and change the tires. Like almost anybody could do that and learn that. I probably couldn't because I don't understand things like that. I understand things like this. So we all got our gift. But most people could go to that school and learn how to do basic stuff on a car. What we're talking about isn't that. This is an evolutionary ordeal. It's not a tactile skill that you're going to learn with your mind and then you're going to be able to do it. This is an inner evolutionary process, and it's contingent upon so many factors, and karma and desires being one of them. Some of us are just more activated in the sex center than others. We're more of an addict by nature. We have this addictive personality, so we might have a harder time, a harder struggle. So we don't know. But the point is, there's 2 points. Number one, if you don't want to lose your mind in the name of preserving your semen, okay? Most won't, though. You're going to end up relapsing anyway, because it's like some higher instinct kicks in and is like, man, just throw the dog a bone. Like, okay, I'll get back on the wheel, tomorrow. There's some people that are okay with releasing maybe once a month. I was just talking to a guy about this. He's having a hard time. He's like 23 and he feels comfortable. He's like, I think he was saying he's going to be taking some new studies and he needs to be able to focus. And he's like, I'm going to try to just release, once every couple months or something, see how that goes. You got to work it like that and see. You're not going to go to hell because you released, or you're not, oh, I'm so weak and bad. Don't let your mind beat yourself up. You're doing the best you can do. You got to work this thing. Maybe you release once a month now, maybe every 3 months. And then at some point, every 6 months. At some point you're done. Like, I'm just done. I'm not releasing anymore. We don't know. You have to let this inner guidance guide you. That's what you have to do. You can't do it totally just with good intention and self-will. Like, I'm going to beat this no matter what. Because you can go crazy. There was more than a couple accounts of people who were dry fasting for God. I'm going to dry fast for God. And I'm going to be a breatharian. I'm going to stop eating and drinking. And if God sees that I'm really serious and devoted to this, I'll be able to do it. So no matter how much pain and suffering I feel, or how sick my body feels, God's got my back. This was mind, though. You see, this was mind talking. And it sounds noble, but it really wasn't their inner feeling. It wasn't God speaking in their heart saying, yeah, do this, I got you. You got to be able to discern the difference. And then they end up dying. And then when they go to the next plane, some higher beings probably like, why are you so stupid, like this is your ego killed you, and you thought it was God talking to you. So use that. I'm relating that to this situation. You do the best you can do, and at the same time you chill. And if you got to relapse, you relapse. I'm not giving you a get out of jail free card, though. Like, anytime, like, oh, I'm feeling some pressure, okay, I'm going to go relapse. No, I'm not saying that either. You gotta intuitively discern this for yourself. Sometimes you need to just push through it. Like, man, you're like, damn, I don't want to relapse again. I've already relapsed. Like, what am I going to just keep doing? Like, oh, no, I'm not going to relapse. And you call somebody, or you go to these meetings, I'm telling you, you get some support, and you're like, cool, I made it through it. And then you got confidence. And then when it happens again, this urge to do it, you're like, wait, I can beat this. It's not I can beat this with my power, but God's given me tools I can use to get some extra power, and I don't have to relapse. Because I just proved I didn't have to, because I had a strong urge a week ago. I didn't do it. Whoa, I can do it now. Like, you see, you start to get confidence. And then maybe you do that 5-6 times. Maybe you get overconfident, then you relapse. But that's part of the deal. You're like, okay, no, it's cool. I'm back on. So you got to work this thing, enjoy the process, and talk to others who are doing it. You have some camaraderie, and then you guys empower each other. There's some saying where it says, when 2 or more gather in my name, you can say God, or in the name of truth, or whatever, you're going to find you're going to be more empowered. This is the benefit of the fellowship and these meetings I'm telling you about. Cool. Have a good day.